So Uniteds, with a plural, are after Neco Williams. Hell no. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Just before we get into the main video, guys, I need to take a personal moment and talk to you guys, because I was looking back at some of the old videos and I was shocked to see how much thinner I was back then. And then coupled with that, I met with my mate Robbie a few weeks ago and saw the dramatic change in his weight loss. And I had to ask him the question, Robbie, what's your secret, man? And that's when he introduced me to Oxford Natural. Oxford Natural don't offer you any kind of magic bullet. They offer you a process. They listen to what your targets are, what you want to achieve, and then they tailor things towards you. And to start me off, they've given me some supplements. So for example, right here, I've got the Optimum Day. What this is good at doing is reducing those cravings to stop me going to the cupboard and grabbing a packet of crisps between editing and recording videos and everything else. But more importantly, the one I'm excited about is Optimum Night here, because what this helps is with the recovery overnight. And ahead of those stressful Forest games, it will help me get a good night's sleep. And if you want to join me on this process, you can get 70% off your first order with them. So go and do it now. Check them out. The link's in the description and the pinned comments. And join me on this journey, and we can do this together if you want to make a change in your lifestyle. Guys, make sure you check out Oxford Natural. It's been brilliant for me so far. I'm actually really enjoying the experience, and I've lost some weight. Look, do I look skinnier to you guys? Let me know in the comments, and if it's nice things. All right, let's get into this news, because this news infuriates me. It really does, because there's no way in hell Neco Williams would do this to me or to you guys and leave for Uniteds. And which Uniteds am I talking about? I'm talking about the scummy United, and the one I don't mind too much, Manchester United and Newcastle United. Now, both these teams, do they need left backs? Man U have got Luke Shaw currently, you know, who ate all the pies. And Newcastle have just got good fullbacks, but they're always injured. And there's also apparently sniffings coming around from the likes of Villa as well. Why is all of this coming about is the question. Well, firstly, it's because Neco Williams is currently in negotiations to sign a new contract with Forest. Because it's taken so much time, even though he's contracted till 2029, spoiler alert, that now clubs are thinking, oh, is there something going on there? Can we get in on the action? Neco Williams, probably the best left back in the Premier League. Can we go and see if we can get a deal? And it's coming from, who's it coming from? It's coming from Sammy Mukbel from the BBC. He's saying that Man U and Newcastle are amongst the clubs that have registered an interest in Neco Williams. Talks over a new contract for him at Forest continue. I want to know where this registration page is. Is it like at school where you go in and they call your name and you're like, yes, miss, I'm here? Like, how do these journalists keep coming up with this crap about registered interest? So have Man U or Newcastle just called up Forest and been like, yo, Marinakis, hope you're doing well. Hope, you know, you got aircon in the heat and what have you. We're just letting you know that we're about to put a registration of interest down for Neco Williams. Marinakis, okay, no problem. I'll email you over the form. You guys fill it in and we'll let you know what happens. Like, what does that even mean? If someone can explain that to me in the comments, I'd be very, very grateful. So he's going to sign a new contract, okay? I'm not worried about Neco Williams leaving at all. And I'll tell you why. Because he's not that guy. Neco Williams joined Forest and I thought was rubbish in the first 6 months. I have to go back to that Blackpool game. One of the worst fullback performances I've ever seen against Blackpool in that cup match. And since basically Nuno came in, for me, Neco Williams has been one of the most improved players, and secondly, just pure quality at either right back or left back. For Forest to get rid of Neco Williams would be utter stupidity. Now, we know Atalanta were heavily interested in Neco Williams last summer. Forest rejected it. Forest weren't interested in selling him. And I think that's going to be the same thing here. This isn't a case of Neco Williams is going to try and run his contract down, because he's still got a couple of years to go before he starts to run that down. Okay, I think a new contract will be signed. And this is what we're going to see over this summer. You're going to see the key players signing up to longer term or more improved financial terms on their contract. We've already seen Murillo do it. I've been hearing Gibbs White's going to sign yet another contract with Forest. Neco Williams, no secret. We've seen Sells has already been announced signing a new contract. Forest sold Anderson. And what I'm getting told is that Forest are not looking to sell anyone else of significant note, aka the core of the squad, unless something absolutely crazy was to come through the door. So I don't see a world where Neco Williams, one, is stupid enough, because he's an intelligent guy, to want to go to Manchester United, and secondly, where he doesn't sign a new contract for Forest, because it will bump his wages up, and you know what? He damn well deserves it because of the performances he's had for the last couple of seasons. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that he was my player of the year last season. I mean, how many man of the match? No, not man of the matches. Man of the months. That's the one I'm looking for. Has he accumulated since he's been at Forest? And more importantly than all that is the versatility he offers. He seamlessly can transition from right back to left back, right wing back to left wing back. 4 key positions in a formation where a manager is probably going to put him as left wing back. By the way, well done to all the eagle-eyed amongst you yesterday. Apparently this said left back on Reed. I don't do this bit, so I'd never make mistakes like that. But it is a right back in terms of Reed. And then that just brings me on to this. Are people going to start putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 5? Obviously, yesterday's video, Reed, the right back, he can actually play left back, but anyway, is being linked to Forest. Are people going to put 2 and 2 together now and start getting 5, 6, 7 and 8? Because are they going to be like, oh, well, Forest are panicking. Neco Williams has rejected the opportunity to sign a new contract. He's going to go. Forest needs to bring a new fullback in. That's why we're being linked to Reed. No. Reed is a separate entity. Neco Williams, it's not a replacement for him. It's an addition to the squad as we look to strengthen. Now that we arguably have the best manager in the league, maybe you could argue one of the most successful managers in the current Premier League, he's not going to want to lose these players because this is one of the reasons he left Crystal Palace. Go back and watch. If you haven't seen the pod I did with Rich, my mate, the Palace fan, go check it out. I'll leave it on the end screen. And you can see the steps as to why Glasner wanted to leave Palace. A lot of it was to do with the likes of Mark Gahey being sold, Mateta wanting to leave, etc. And do you really think he's going to walk into a new job where he's been made promises by Marinakis, and then suddenly on day one, Marinakis is going to come up to him. He's going to be like, yo, OG, you know how we talked about this being your dream job, how I was going to fund a war chest for you, how we're going to kick this club back to the great days of Forest? Yeah, we're going to start by selling Neco Williams. Not going to happen. So, and also, I don't think Sammy Makbel's that reliable. I don't care if he works for the BBC. He says a lot of crap sometimes, and so do all these journalists. Maybe they're just filling column inches because the World Cup is still ongoing. So, Neco Williams for me is a no sale. Neco Williams for me, I'm dismissing this as even a thing. Do I believe Man U and Newcastle are interested? Yes, I do. But I also believe pretty much half the other clubs in Europe would be interested in him as well because of the quality he's shown. But do you think he stays or goes? Do you believe in this story? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you've liked and subscribed. Go check out Oxford Natural. Look at it. Wonders it's doing already for me. And we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.